And hope you'll enjoy the video. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed that short video clip we showed you. Okay, so now we're gonna go with a few slides. And I have for you first, we're gonna talk about the laundry operation. So the laundry, folks, is located on deck number 2 and number 3, lead forward of the ship. It's a 24 hours operation down at the laundry room. We have a total of 25 staff down there. We have 14 day shift and 11 night shift. So it's under the house executive housekeeper as well. So if you have any question regarding the laundry operation, executive housekeeper will be here to answer those questions for you. All right, some of the pictures down at the laundry room. So you can see we have white bed sheets and yellow bed sheets. Why do you think, folks, we have white and yellow bed sheets? What do you say, man? For staff, that's right. The yellow one is the bed sheets that we use for the staff, and the white one is the one we use for the crew. That's how we can identify what are the bed sheets we use for the staff and for our lovely guests. Okay, there you go. Some of the washing machines down there. We have different machines actually down at the laundry room. Let's keep on going. Now the galley. The galley is what we call on land as the kitchen. So here on board we call it the galley. So in the food and beverage operation itself, we have more or less 865 staff. So more than 50% of the crew members comes from the food and beverage operation. We have independent galleys and 20 plus different dining options on board. Galley staff 200 plus and chefs 150. So in the food and beverage operation, that includes the bar, the restaurant, the sanitation, the cooks, the chefs is all under the food and beverage. Oh, hello, sir. Welcome. Okay, so 11,500 meals per day. So in a weekly basis, more or less 80,000 meals on a weekly basis. 2,000 rolls and 1,100 baguettes per day. Room service, 700 meals per day. Scarves and racks, so some of our chefs, you will see them very visible, especially out in the Garden Cafe buffet. So if they're wearing the blue scarf, they are the assistant cooks. The red one are the cooks. The white one is the chef Cornell, section leader or team leaders. And the black is the executive chef and the executive sous chef. Alright, let's keep on going. As you can see, our galley is always clean and sanitized. This is actually our main galley connecting our 3 dining rooms, the Savor, the Taste, and the Tropicana. So this is our main dining room. As you can see, it's always clean and sanitized. We always ensure that we are up to the standards in regards to public health. Okay, let's talk about those meats. So our butcher chops over 46,000 pounds of veal, poultry, and beef in a weekly basis. All right, so that is our on a weekly basis. Yes, we have our own bakery here on board and it's open 24/7, 24/7 operation. It's located on deck number 5, all the way to the back of the ship. Let's keep on going. Yes, so we have a talented, we have a very talented chefs right here. They can even do artistic thing regarding the fruit or vegetable. Later on the cruise actually will be having the fruit and vegetable carving demonstration. So be sure to check that out. I believe it's going to be on our last day of the cruise. It's on the day at sea, right here in the atrium. 40-60 foot containers of food and beverage are taken on board weekly. So this is just on a weekly basis. So for this itinerary, folks, we probably do our provisioning Southampton, sometimes in Amsterdam too. Okay, so yeah, so this is just an approximate number on a weekly basis. And then fresh eggs, we're consuming more. Yes, I can see your face, man. Ma'am says, wow, 65,000 pieces of eggs in a weekly basis. All right, this is just on a weekly basis. So you can check our shopping list when we do our weekly shopping, our weekly grocery. Keep on going. Ice cream, 1,300 gallons. This is only the hard serve ice creams. This doesn't include the soft serve ice cream that we're having up in the Garden Cafe buffet. So again, this is on a weekly basis. If we have a high kids count, sometimes this doubles up. All right, you know the kids, they love those ice creams. So yeah. And fresh fruits, 45,000 pounds. Same thing with vegetables, 45,000 pounds as well on a weekly basis. And keep on moving, the potatoes, 16,000 pounds. You might be wondering, why are we consuming too much potatoes on a weekly basis? Of course, we love those French fries. So those French fries comes into these numbers as well. And yes, as I mentioned earlier, the meat, 46,000 pounds. Seafood, 12,000 pounds. And now, we're talking, let's talk about the booze. Yes! Who had the beverage package? Raise your hand. Yes, I know. We have like 60-70% of our guests, they have the beverage package. Sometimes on the third day of the cruise, we're running out of booze. No, I'm just kidding. We have a lot of stocks for you. So, bottles of beers. We consume on a weekly basis more or less 23,000 bottles of beers. We have the types of wines, 190 bottles of spirit. We're consuming more or less 3,500. Wow, good luck to our liver. Okay. All right, now, I know some of you might be having some question, what are those behind those doors which says crew only or crew access only? Don't you worry, folks, behind those doors, we don't paddle the ship. It's our very own area, okay? It's a private area for the crew. First, I'm gonna take you to the main highway. This is what we call the I-95. This is our access going to our cabins. This is our access going to different offices for the crew. Like the finance office, the personnel office, HR office, safety office, security office is all located in the I-95. Actually, this is the busiest place on the ship in regards to you, especially during debark and embarkation day. Remember when you joined us, you left your luggage at the terminal building in Southampton and it was delivered in your stateroom. It was actually loaded to the I-95. They take the crew elevator and deliver it in your stateroom. So same thing with all the provisions. It's all being loaded in deck number 4 in the I-95. Deck 4 all the way from the front, all the way to the back of the ship. That's the I-95. Another picture from you of the I-95. All right, let's keep on going. Training center or lecture room. So yeah, so it doesn't matter, folks, if you've been working on cruise ship or at sea for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Once we come back from vacation, let's say we go for vacation, we come back to work. The first thing we need to do once we come on board, before we go to, on our regular work, we do our safety trainings. So our number one priority here on board, we want you to have a fantastic time, we want you to have a great time, but the number one priority for us is the safety of each and every one. That means it's the guests and as well the crew. Okay, so all of those safety trainings is being done by our safety officer. You might be wondering, oh, we have a training specialist as well. So training specialist does the training beside safety. So all those supervisory training, managerial trainings, for promotional trainings is all being done by the training specialist. All right. And the lecture room is located on deck number 1, mid forward of the ship. Keep on going, the cater grill. This is what we call the crew mess, or maybe you work in a hotel on land, you call it the cafeteria. So yeah, this is our crew mess. So all the officers and staff, we all need to gather Yes, so anyone who cruises the smaller ships of Norwegian, like the jewel classes? Yeah, I'm sure you've done it. Okay, the Sky, all those, the Jewel, the Pearl, the Jade, the Gem. So on those classes of ships, folks, actually, the messes is divided into three. We have the crew mess, staff mess, and officer's mess. It depends what ranking file are you, and then you can dine into the place. So it's actually a good thing when they build the first mega ship of Norwegian Cruise Line out of Papenburg in Germany. Anyone knows what is the first mega ship out of Papenburg in Germany for Norwegian Cruise Line? Anyone? Not the Epic is the first mega ship, but that's not out of Germany. That's out of France. I heard it. What do you say, man? The Breakaway, the sister ship of the Getaway. So the Breakaway came out in 2013. So what they did is they built one big mess. I don't know if I said it right. So yeah, so all the officers, staff, and crew, they all eat at the same place. So same thing here on the Getaway. And because of that, we have crew members who comes from more than 60 different countries. So our chefs as well comes from different part of the world. So we have different kind of variety on our mess. We have food from the Philippines, we have food from India, we have food like part of the Caribbean, from Jamaica, from Indonesia. It's available on our crew mess. And then, yep, this is the healthy options that we have in the crew mess, which I never go on that area. This is the area that I go to. Those sugars, you know, those dessert, we need those sugar. And then, oops. And then, yes, we have our own crew mart as well. Okay, there you go. Yes, so we have a crew mart here on board. Maybe some of our crew members, we don't have time to go ashore to purchase all those maybe snacks or maybe some toiletries. It's available on our crew mart. We have our crew mart here on board. And even snacks and treats around the world is available from our crew mart. There you go. All right. Let's keep on going. The crew gym. It's open 24 hours as crew work on different ship patterns. I know where is it located, but I've never been there. I'm just being honest. So yeah, the crew gym is open 24 hours for the crew. And internet and crew internet room, yes, we have our own internet area for the crew. We are like an internet cafe located on deck 5 all the way to the back of the ship. And in addition, we actually have a language program. As you can see, folks, most of our crew members, we come from different part of the world. So if we want to practice our English pronunciation, the language of the ship is English, you know, our writing. We have a program on board with the help as well as training specialists if we want to improve our English. So yes, we have a program on board of that. And yes, and then we have internet. So it's actually a good thing with Norwegian Cruise Line when we returned to service after the COVID. Remember, we stopped the operation and back on 2021. Yes, 2021, we returned to service. The first thing they did for the crew is they have free access to WhatsApp. So WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. So we can communicate with our family members back home 24/7. But of course we cannot do 24/7 because we're working. Most of the crew members, I would say like 80% of the crew members, that's why we're working here on board, is first of all to have for you a vacation of a lifetime and to support our family back home. So it's very important we communicate with them. Me personally, if I don't communicate with my wife at least twice a day, the next day will not be a good day for me. That's guaranteed. Yes, okay. So I need to report to her when I wake up and then before I go to bed. Okay, let's keep on going. Yes, folks, we still have those DVDs on our stateroom or in the cabin of the crew. And we have a DVD rental areas for the crew. And I will be honest, those DVDs are not so updated. So they're a little bit outdated already, but it still works, you know? Okay. And then you have your bars around the ship. We actually have our bars as well. We have 2 bars for the crew. This is the indoor crew bar. So we have a crew bar, we call it Bar 305 because when this ship first came out, it was sailing out of Miami. So we call it the Bar 305. And then this is our outdoor crew bar. Yes, so you might be wondering why I cannot go all the way to the front of the ship or on the bow of the ship. Because this is an exclusive place for the crew. This is where our crew bar is. This is as well the smoking area for the crew. Okay? And yeah, DJs from around the world play every night so we can experience music from different nationalities. So here on board, folks, we actually have this position, what we call the crew enrichment administrator. What does he or she does? It's pretty much like the cruise director for the crew. So he or she does like organizing different events and activities for the crew. Let's say bingo night for the crew, or even sometimes if we are in a port of call, he or she is going to organize an excursion for the crew. So those are the things that the crew enrichment administrator does. All right, there you go. Another picture from you for the crew. And now, the always favorite question of the guests. What is the crew area that you want to see from the crew? Yes, all right, the cabin. That's it. That's what we actually call it as the cabinet. Probably your cabinet is bigger back home than our cabinet. But it's actually, it works. So, as I said, some of you have cruised on the smaller ships of Norwegian. And those smaller ships of Norwegian, folks, actually some of the crew members, they share up to 6 people in one cabin. You heard me right. Some of the ships, 4, 5, or 6. And it's actually a good thing with Norwegian Cruise Line when they built the first mega ship, as you mentioned earlier, man, is the Epic. They actually did a survey for the crew. How would make your life easier or better once you're working on board? Majority of the crew members said, we want our own space. Of course, you're gonna be working like 10 to 12 hours. You're gonna be working with your colleague. You're gonna go to your cabin. You're gonna see the same face. It doesn't mean you hate your colleague, but sometimes you get tired of their face. Okay, so, and of course you want some privacy. So what they did in the Epic, we call it, this kind of cabins are the Jack and Jill cabin. 2 small cabins, it's a smaller cabin, and you're sharing a toilet. Alright, and to maximize your space on your cabin, they put the bed a little bit higher so you can put some things underneath the bed, especially your luggage. And then, yep, you have a cabinet right here, a small cabinet on the side, you have a desk, you have a phone. Alright, so that's the Jack and Jill. So I would say, on this class of ships, starting with the Epic, the Breakaway, the Getaway, the Escape, the Joy, the Bliss, the Encore, even the new ships, the Prima and the Viva, majority of the crew members, they have their own cabins. Only, and the maximum only sharing, so I would say 80% of the crew members, more than 80%, we have our own cabin, and the maximum sharing only is 2. We don't have those 4 anymore or 6 on this new classes of ships. But to show you a better view, what does the cabin looks like? Alright, this is actually the cabin of our food and beverage director. You will meet him later on. This is what I see in his cabin, yeah? Okay, that's the cabin of the food and beverage director. So later on, you can ask him how he decorates his cabin. Okay, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed that short presentation I have for you. Alright, and now it's time to meet the hotel senior officers. Do me a favor, once I call them one by one, please show some love for them by giving them a nice round of applause. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? Alright. Okay, first in line is actually me. There you go, thank you very much. Alright, so as you see, folks, my name is Paquito Cooks. I'm from the Philippines. I'm your cruise director, so you might be wondering why I have the Fuchs last name and I'm from the Philippines. My father is Austrian, my mom is from the Philippines. I was born in Austria, but when I was 2 years old, I told my parents, Mom, Dad, it's too cold here. So, way back then, we went home to the Philippines when I was 2 years old, so ever since I've been living in the Philippines, I studied the Philippines, I call Philippines as my home. So yeah, I've been working with Norwegian Cruise Line since December 11, 2011. My first ever ship, I was always remember that, Norwegian Pearl. Anyone who cruised on the Pearl? Yes, a small ship, but it's a beautiful ship. So December 11, 2011, I started as a restaurant steward, and then I worked my way up. I worked as a recreation staff, those folks that's working in the rope course, the water slides, and I become a cruise staff, activity host. I become an assistant cruise director, and back September 2017, is my first gig as a cruise director back on the Norwegian Jade. And yeah, it's my pleasure and honor to be your cruise director here on board the Norwegian Getaway. So that's my story, folks. Thank you very much. Alright, we're going to move on to the next one. This gentleman, if you're getting a couple of pounds this cruise, this is the person that you're going to blame. Executive Chef, we have Angelito from the Philippines. Alright, here, where are you? You're sneaking in behind me. Make some noise for Shaki. Moving on to the next one, girls, ensuring the cleanliness of your stateroom and the public venues. And actually is in charge as well of the laundry operation, as I mentioned earlier. Please welcome Senor Jose, your executive housekeeper from Nicaragua. You guys are sneaking behind me, huh? All right. Okay, let's keep on going. So I showed you guys earlier his stateroom. He's actually overseeing the food and beverage operation. Not only that, the sanitation and provision. And he's sneaking on the back. All the way from Croatia/Canada, Goran, your food and beverage director. You saw your cabin, sir. Beautiful. Okay, and last but not the least, overall in charge of the hotel operation, from food and beverage, from housekeeping, from guest services, from entertainment. He comes all the way from Croatia. Let's hear it for your general manager, Mr. Mario Markovic. Hello, sir. Okay, so there you go. So before we start our question and answer, I think they want to tell a little bit something about themselves. Let's start with Chefy. Chefy, good morning, Chef.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.